We're live.
We are live.
We're live.
Hello, hello, hello. I see lots of hellos.
Oh, good.
Oh, I see a good evening.
Good evening. Snowy Iowa, Odenville, Alabama.
Virginia.
I would say Roll Tide, but they may be War Eagle.
They might be.
Don't ever know.
You can't be one-sided.
That's right.
Not in this state. How are we feeling today? We're feeling lovely.
As good as we can. It's nasty outside today.
It is.
Makes me so sleepy.
I was about to say it doesn't do me that way, and I just fell asleep on the couch, but
It makes me just
it doesn't make me sleepy.
so sleepy. It just
Oh,
drains it
goodness.
out of me.
How's everybody doing on this odd day of a Thursday?
Yeah, this is not our typical lives.
Not our typical lives. And as y'all know, Jason posted that he was finishing up a project on Tuesday. So I guess y'all know what it was.
I guess y'all know what the project was by now. If you haven't, you go check it out. But we got a stair rail.
We got a stair rail, and we don't have to worry about the dogs falling off, or
No.
when we're dancing up here, we can get as close as we want to the edge. And
We have got a stair rail. It's such a relief. I mean, sitting right here because we're upstairs and it's right there, and
well,
It's
especially when the
it's
dogs
such a
were
relief.
up here.
Yeah, especially when Holly would be up. Holly is up here by herself,
Yeah.
and she'd bring a toy up here. She's not paying close. She's a puppy. She's throwing that toy around and stuff, and I'd take the toy and take it downstairs, and felt like a bad daddy making her stop, but I didn't want her to not pay attention to them.
Well, I
outside.
tell you what worried me was on nights that you and Mary Carl would be up here watching TV,
Yeah.
and I would be downstairs doing something else. You didn't realize how close Holly would be, but I could see Holly's feet
Oh, I could see her from here.
off the edge, and I did not like that. And
Yeah.
there was nothing that we could temporarily do to make a barrier. So
We could put the Premier One fencing up here. You
we
reckon?
thought about that at one time. But the reason it took so long is, y'all, we just didn't know what we were going to do. We did
No.
not know what the best solution was. You know, you got rebar, you got pipe, but we were limited to what we could do.
Yeah.
And that was the gist of it.
This is a
This
if
is
y'all
a
saw the
DIY
video,
project.
It is literally untreated 2x4s. The entire thing is just simply untreated 2x4s and the 1-inch
Flat bar metal.
flat bar metal that you got from the metal place.
Got it from a metal
Yeah.
place. They sell it at the big box stores, but it's much more expensive.
Yeah.
And they did not have it in long lengths that we needed.
Yeah, because it was 20-foot lengths.
It was 20-foot lengths.
Mm-hmm.
So Mary Carl and I went on a little trip that day and went up to North Alabama to Wheeler Wildlife Refuge.
Hope y'all can hear us. It's raining pretty good.
Took her to see the sandhill cranes, which migrate to that area during this time of the year. And I thought that there were phenomenal numbers of those sandhill cranes when we went. But y'all, 15,000 that are there now is nothing compared to what some of the people that were in the observatory told us, that in December there were upwards of 30,000 plus sandhill cranes that migrate to that area in North Alabama.
Pretty cool.
So yeah, we had a good day, and I had an even better day when I got home and I saw the the railing was up and completed. But yeah, I plan on making many more trips and doing some things without Jason so we can accomplish even. No, I'm so thankful to have a handrail up, and I think Jason did a phenomenal job.
It turned out great.
Yeah,
it really did.
It looks better than what the welded.
I'm gonna be honest
handrail.
with you. Looking at the pictures and all, I didn't know how sturdy it was going to be, and I thought it was going to wiggle, even though it had lag bolts in it. There's no wiggle in it whatsoever.
Oh, no.
It is sturdy.
Yeah, it's awesome, and it's just a perfect solution to our farmhouse industrial look that we have going on in our house.
Yeah, it turned out great. I don't think we could have done anything better. I
And
really
you know
don't.
what else?
What's that?
We couldn't have done it any less expensive.
Yeah, I can't believe it was
I
under
mean,
$250.
yeah, the cost effectiveness were that was spot on, considering we already had a deposit out of pocket that we're probably not going to get back, and we didn't want to put that much more into it.
Yeah,
But no, we didn't choose this one from a cost effective point of view, so to speak.
we chose it because it looked great.
Yeah.
And I thought I could pull it off.
Yeah. But I think what made it so inexpensive was the ability to find that flat bar metal for $7 a 20-foot stick.
Yeah, because that was the most expensive thing. If I know, it was like
$95 for 14 pieces of the flat bar metal. So yeah, that was awesome.
The hog panel one came up, but when I was looking at pictures of it, it is
it's detailed.
It's a lot of wood. It's a lot of wood. So it would have cost a good bit more to have done it. And it don't look as good as this one, I don't think.
My biggest fear with the hog panel one, and if you don't know what we're talking about, it's simply grids of metal that make squares.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like a fence versus what we went with.
Right.
My only concern with that is, first of all, it's heavy. The material itself is heavy. You know that as well as I do. And second of all, this flat bar metal was black to begin with. So once you cleaned it and it was back to black, it just had a fresh coat on it. That hog panel is a galvanized metal.
Yeah, you got to get that off.
You got to get that galvanization off.
There's some kind of chemical reaction that if you don't treat it right, then the paint could peel up off of it. So I read.
Right. Yeah. And it's made to withstand the weather, which, we don't have any weather in here. So we're not trying to withstand the weather.
Right.
We would need to get that off in order to the paint to stick and not chip off. And we don't have an ability to powder coat it. So we would have had extra expense in taking it to somebody that could have powder coated it. Anyway, enough about the railing. I love it.
It turned out great. It really did.
It's awesome.
It really did. Love it.
I love it.
I do want to mention a couple of things. Number one, I have gone back, and there's a lot of people that like to listen to this because it used to be a big edited thing, and it just got too much for me to do. So we started doing the lives, and then it got where we started using this program here so we could stream it across multiple platforms. And when I did that, it made it hard to make it an audible version to upload it on the podcast site. So then it can go out to, my mind went blank, but Apple Podcast, and then Pandora, and all the podcasts.
Spotify, something you used to say.
Podbean. For some reason, it's not going to Spotify, so I need to relook. I need to check and see why it's not. But Podbean is who I use to upload it to. So you can always go to Podbean. But anyways, the Audible versions are now available starting 2 weeks ago. I started it week before last. So week before last is on there. Last week's on there, and then I'll put this one on there. But it may be tomorrow before the Audible version goes out. So don't hold it to me to do it the day we record it. It may be the next day. So a lot of people like to listen to it versus watching it. But
that's kind of like you. You like to listen to.
I like to listen to a lot of things, and so it's there. As a matter of fact, on Podbean, this is the new thing they got, and I qualified for it. So I actually upload the entire video there, so you can listen to it or watch it.
Oh, that's cool.
On your podcast app. So it's
I'll leave
there.
That to you.
Yeah. So it is there. And I just wanted to let you guys know that like to listen to it versus watching it. Another thing is that I want to let you guys know, I don't want to disappoint anybody, but I do want to let people know that we are not going to be at the Okie Homestead Expo this year. We were invited. Dutch and Kevin invited us to come speak and that thing, but it's just a timing issue for us this year. And unfortunately, we won't be able to make it to the Okie Homestead Conference. They got a super great list of speakers.
You won't be disappointed even if we're
no.
not there.
That's right. And I see that Daniel's going to be the MC, so there's no telling how that's going to.
Yeah, that's worth it in itself.
But I did want to put that out there that we were invited to go, but it's just a timing thing for us this year, and we won't be able to make it there. But we will be going to the Pedals from the Past meet and greet April 22nd in Jemison, Alabama. So there wouldn't be no flying or long driving or anything like that involved for us.
And Holly may even have to go because she has
to go.
She has a problem staying alone by herself.
She has separation anxiety.
She probably won't meet and greet with everyone because she's more of a one-on-one kind of person now. But she may sit in the truck or I don't think it'd be fair to her to have to sit in the kennel all day. So we're going to make arrangements probably to have Holly with us, just not necessarily for our sake, for her sake.
Yeah. Well, we'll figure something out. We'll get her out and walk around. She won't be cooped up in the truck all day. But
no, she won't be inside either. She can do whatever she wants to.
But so if you haven't seen that, I don't think Pedals has got it up on their site yet. They got it up there, but they don't have us and the registration and that thing yet. So we'll let you guys know. And it's totally free. The Pedals from the Past meet and greet is totally free. And somebody from South Korea, that just caught my eye.
Huh.
But that's pretty awesome. But I do want to put that out there. And other than that, we just a gloomy, nasty day.
Well, we had plans of going over to visit Granddaddy today.
We was excited about today. We're going to go over there, visit Granddaddy and Shirley.
Yes.
We were going to go get them some good home cooking lunch from the Main Street Cafe and get them a meat and 3.
I woke up with a sore throat and I feel okay. I've still got a sore throat and I just, Granddaddy's 100, Shirley's up in age. We can all get sick at any time, and I realize that, but I certainly don't want to be a reason that they come down with anything.
Yep. So
hopefully I'll throw this off, but I had to call this morning and tell them we weren't going to make it, but they're doing well. They still don't have any information as to when their house. My necklace is making a reflection.
Flashing on
They still don't know when their house reconstruction will start and if the floor can be salvaged. But they are living next door to their house in the shop, as we call it. It's livable. It's
his electric. It used to be electric business. So,
it had offices in it, and they're. I could hear the TV going when I was talking to them. So they've got everything set up to where they can live comfortably for now. And soon as we can get over there, and we both feel 100% healthy and don't feel a threat to pass on anything, then we will know more about how they're doing and hopefully get a little video of them and let you guys.
That was our plans today, was to go over there, have video with them, chat with them, give you guys a update
that you
on
could
what's
actually
going.
physically see them. They're doing better. My mom did go over to Selma today, and she just popped her head in the door when she got back, and she had not been since the tornado damage. And Jason and I have only been to a limited part of Selma because we didn't want to be in any of the workers' way. Well, somebody that she knows over there said, look, if you got a minute, ride down this road that was affected. And Mama said she could not believe it, the devastation. She could not believe what she saw. So I told her, I said, do you know that was a 3? That was a, F3? Is what that, well, actually on that side of town, it was supposedly an F2.
Yeah.
It just shows you how powerful. I'm aware of how powerful a tornado can be, but to see the devastation with your own 2 eyes, you realize that Mother Nature is a beast.
Yeah.
Can be, I should say, and can be lovely.
Oh, yeah, all the way around.
Yeah.
All the way around.
She has those multiple personalities, and anything goes, right?
Yeah, anything goes.
Never know what's going to come out of her.
That's right. I sure do hate we missed it though, because I was.
I'm holding in a sneeze, so I do think I may be getting at least a cold.
Cold. Not
Is that what you were
allergies.
saying? I may hate we missed Granddad's visit.
Yeah, I hate Mr. Grandday's visit because I was,
Yeah.
taking him some home cooking, even though we went from our home. Main Street Cafe here, downtown Clanton, they have the best meat and three I've ever had, and I'm not exaggerating.
What did Mary Carl tell me? One day this week we were in town, and I picked her up a plate.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had a grocery pickup maybe, and
Mhm.
I didn't get anything. It was hard for me to
Mhm.
hold off, but I'm trying to watch what I eat. She told me that it should be voted the best restaurant in Alabama. I don't know what she said, but anyway, it was spot on. However she said it.
It's and for those that don't know, most of y'all know, but if you don't know, a meat and three is a meat and three vegetables. And but yeah,
Well, I'll just read y'all the menu that they had today.
So good, and it's
when I called Shirley,
and you can tell it's not.
It's home cooking. I mean, it's not like it came from a can.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, the last few times we've been to Cracker Barrel, and it's been years. It don't taste,
Well, I tell you what my problem is with the Cracker Barrel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm I don't have any ties to Cracker Barrel, but I remember going when I was younger and thinking that it was the cat's pajamas.
I remember going with Granddaddy when I was younger.
And Mary Carl used to call it Barrel Cracker when she was little. She wanted to go eat at Barrel Cracker.
She liked the little gift shop, though, is what she liked.
Yes. So my last visits with her, my problem was the portions were so small that they really just literally were for a toddler.
Yeah.
Okay, so Main Street Cafes in downtown Clanton, and their menu today, which was what we planned to do. I told Miss Shirley, I said, I'm going to call you in the morning and tell you what the menu is, and y'all pick from it, and we're going to bring you some good cooking because it was kind of a spur of the moment thing. And so they had chicken and dressing.
It's so good.
Or beef tips and rice. So that's your meat. You choose one of those two.
And that's like two. You know what I'm saying? You usually think of
1, 2.
I know, but you think of a meat. You think of like meatloaf.
Oh yeah.
But you're getting chicken and dressing.
Yeah.
You're getting beef tips and rice. But anyways, go ahead.
So their vegetables today were green beans, and y'all, these ain't out of no can. Fried okra that tastes like you picked it from the garden and fried it.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet potato casserole, butter peas, macaroni and cheese that is homemade, cream corn, potato salad, coleslaw, and today they had something that I've never had before, and I didn't get to have it today, but it was called pineapple pudding. And while we say meat and three, we're forgetting something.
The dessert?
So it's a meat 3 vegetables, a dessert.
Yeah.
It's not large, but it's enough to give you that sweet.
You're so full from eating the other.
It's a piece of a cornbread muffin.
Yeah.
And a tea. Everybody in the South drinks sweet tea. So I say a tea. It's a choice of a drink. Mm-hmm. And y'all, you get all this for just $9.99.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You can't cook for that for this day and time. You cannot cook for $9.99 a plate, meat 3. And if I lived alone, which I hope I never have to, I would get that every single day and make that 2 meals.
You could.
And never cook.
When Mary Carl gets one, it's 2 meals for her.
Well, not anymore, dear.
It used to be.
It used to be, but now she's grown into a big girl, and she eats all of her meat and 3.
She does eat all of it. Holly's on stink bug patrol.
So while I hate we missed Granddaddy and Shirley, I hate we missed that good lunch.
I know.
Because
it's so good.
I had a salad, and I boiled me some eggs in Instapot, some fresh farm eggs. 5 minutes is all it takes, and you have boiled eggs
in the Instapot.
Yeah, I've been telling you I wanted you to make a video about that because a lot of people don't realize you can boil eggs in the Instapot.
You got to make it for your channel.
Well, I don't know how to make a reel.
Well, we could add it to one of your videos.
Okay, good idea.
We'll add it to one of your videos. That'll work.
I just love it. I just love being able to boil eggs that quick and be. I'm going to have to do it on a day when my hens are laying well, because I like to boil about 10 of them so that I can keep them in the refrigerator and have them ready.
Yeah.
And right now, I don't have 10 eggs to gather soon enough.
Speaking of eggs, you think that, well, first of all, I don't know if I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned the last video or not. I was going to mention it in the video coming up, not tomorrow's video, but the next one. But we have moved all the egg layers to where the Rhode Island Reds were, and it's not, it was like
7 maybe,
seven of them. So all chickens that lay eggs, there are egg layers.
Full size. Now we have bantams, and we left all the bantams and all the silkies.
And we got Polishes too, and the Polishes are not great egg layers.
Well, they're too vulnerable, and I don't want them to be in a new area because their poof disables their vision, and they're just, they wouldn't do well in a new area. Right.
So we got some Turkins over there. Wilhelmina, who's the olive egger.
Fancy
Brahma,
goat.
Yeah, goat, and it's a handful of
Diane.
But so we're getting a few eggs, but you think one of the eggs may have been the first Rhode Island Red egg, you think, but you're not 100% sure.
Well, I tell you why I think this. There's some surefire evidence in front of me that leads me to believe that there is a Rhode Island Red that is laying eggs. All of my girls who are seasoned egg layers, meaning they've been laying, use the box.
Yeah.
Okay. If I catch one of those girls laying on the ground,
who knows what?
If I catch one of those girls laying on the ground, they know better. They're not going to do it. Of course, I wouldn't do anything to them, but they know better. They'd lay in the boxes.
Right.
All of them have, always will. So this egg was under the roost. What an odd spot, right?
Right.
So I pick it up, and of course, under the roost, there's species. So I picked the egg up, and I first thought is, well, there's no saving this egg because it's, in a pile. So I take it outside and I start looking at it, and it's got some calcium buildup.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some discoloration. It's got some little white areas. It's got some lighter brown ring around it. And I said, you know what? I'm going to crack this egg. We have oyster shells out there for them. We have grit out there for them. But a new layer, no matter what, is going to have a thin shell for the first few eggs that they lay. It's just part of their cycle. I busted it, and y'all, it was thinner than a piece of paper. I mean, it was just so thin. And I really do think that they're one of my girls has started laying her eggs.
So in the next couple of weeks, we'll probably be getting.
Oh, it's gonna happen. I mean, it's gonna be like an egg overload.
Yeah.
And that's when I better get that wagon ready to go out to the road, because that's going to be the first thing that we have excess of. Don't you?
Eggs?
Yeah.
You're probably right. But I got to figure out a way to get a cooler in there and that kind of thing.
Well, this time of the year, I don't think we need it necessarily. Okay. But when it gets on up into 100 degrees, and it's not that we realize eggs don't have to be refrigerated. We don't refrigerate them in our house. But when the temperatures get 100 degrees and even above in Alabama, the heat index, of course, is much higher. Eggs don't need to sit out in that sort of temperature.
We don't want boiled eggs.
We don't want boiled eggs, and I certainly don't want to do anything to endanger anybody.
Yeah.
So, when the weather heats up, I will want to put them in some sort of insulated way to keep them cooler.
I got you.
But right now, I think they're fine. I'm not worried about it now.
We'll figure it out. And we got the tires fixed on the wagon.
Got the tires fixed on the way to the Wheeler Wildlife Refuge the day that you made the stair railing. I dropped the tires off because the place that I'm familiar with is right off the interstate. And I told them what I was doing with it. I said, look, I'm not driving this thing down the highway. I'm driving it down my driveway. But I don't want to have to air up the tires every time, and I don't want to put a bunch of money into it. So they said, okay, leave them with us and we'll call you when it's ready. Literally 30 minutes into my trip down the road, Miss Smith, we have your tires ready. It'll be $10.
$10.
I said, my gracious. And y'all, they are holding
Still
air.
holding air.
Still holding air. They are perfect for what we need them for. I don't know what they did. I think they might have put a tube in them. I did mention that to them. So we won't have to buy the tires.
Man, she is busy.
She is. And she's been outside all day. We're looking at Holly while she's walking around.
She is a busy body.
I see
today.
some questions about the Victorian crown pigeons.
Okay.
So she has not laid her egg. She has been active on her nest. I was just looking because she's been sitting on it a lot.
Yeah.
But right now, she's not on it. And I'm going to do a video. It's going to be ready by the weekend and show y'all what their progress is. But there's no egg.
No egg.
No egg. I think it's coming. I think it's coming, but I don't know. I just don't know when. This morning I watched her while I ate breakfast, and she sat on the nest, and I got kind of concerned about her. I mean, I was to the point where I was fixing to go outside and visibly make sure she was okay, because she had something in her mouth while she was on the nest, and her face was not facing me. I could just see her doing like this. And whatever she had was going up and down. And I thought, is she choking? What's going on? So I gave it just, enough time where I thought that I could see if she was okay or not. Well, then I was able to make out that she had something in her mouth, and it was about that long. And I don't know what her purpose was, but she tucked it down into the nest. I don't know that there was any sticks or anything I put in there that was that long, but regardless, she made use of whatever that was she had in her mouth, and it gave me a good scare because I thought something was wrong with her. Valentine egg, I hope so.
Ooh, wouldn't that be awesome?
I hope you're right.
Valentine egg.
That would be wonderful.
Oh, no, I think I got a bone over here.
Jason's preoccupied with Holly. He gets worried when activity starts, and it gets him distracted, and now she's going to make big banging noises, but yeah, I'm waiting on that egg too. I can't wait. But she's got a big, oh goodness, a big swell made out to where it's not just a, and what kills me about it is she'll have this swell made, and next thing you know, they start building on it again, and they've covered that swell up and made a new one. So I've quit trying to guess what's going on between those two. I'm just going to tell y'all when there's an egg laid.
I can tell you this though. I can be inside working on a video, and I can hear him drumming.
Oh, they're actively mating.
It is loud. Oh my gracious! It just goes boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, it's a
boom,
sound like none other on this farm.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that they're in love. We know that. We know that they are prepared to lay this egg. But when it's going to happen is up to them. And I just hope it's soon for my sake. I really do. I hope it's soon.
It may be getting ready for spring. We've had some spring-like weather, but it's kind of a false spring because they're showing we got a couple of days coming up. It's going to be in the lower 30s.
Yeah, I haven't had to cut the heat on in there in a couple of weeks. It's just warm enough to where they don't need any supplemental heat. Yeah. And while I would love to be able to pull that plastic off right now, it's not the right thing to do.
Right.
Because as ugly as it looks, say I pull that plastic off and they lay an egg tomorrow and it gets down to in the 30s. There's nothing that's going to contain that heat to make those birds stay warm enough, much less want to sit on an egg.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope they wait too. I really do. I really do.
I mean, I don't hope they wait, and I do hope they wait.
Yeah.
Maybe they know more than we do about the weather.
Any more goose eggs?
We're not going to talk about that.
This must be something I ain't supposed to know about.
Well, if my face got red, I'll tell you that something.
Oh, my gracious. Oh, it's coming down now.
Tell y'all something about the goose eggs is I was kind of disappointed because Jacqueline over at Head Family Farm sent me a picture, and I may not supposed to tell this, so y'all don't tell her I told you, but she sent me a picture of her two geese that she's found out was a pair and their nest. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. Well, that's the day that we found I found the single goose egg. And so I told her that, I said, I hope you're ready for some more. Well, when she showed me that nest, I think she was telling me that she's going to hope that those hatch, but she doesn't want any more. And I was like, oh no. Well, last night I was talking to Tanya, our beekeeper, and thank God for Tanya, because she has saved me. She told me that she would like to have some geese. They could go in her pond.
She wants some geese.
And I said, thank goodness. And she said, why? And I said, because I think there's 10 in the incubator.
Oh, there's 10 eggs in the incubator?
Yes.
Oh, my gracious.
Yeah, I've been putting them all in there because, everybody needs a guard goose. We got the silkies that are going in the back. They're going to need one. We got the Rhode Islands in the front. And then, we got a pond out there. It's nothing cuter than baby geese.
That's crazy. I had no idea.
I've been gathering 2 a day, and yesterday I got 3.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's about 10 in there.
Good gracious.
And I'm thinking to myself, pretty soon I'm going to have to get that second tray, but I know where it is, so no worries there.
Oh my goodness. That's funny. Oh my gracious.
I finally caught one of the geese on the nest, one of the curly ones.
Uh-huh.
We have they're all Sebastopols, and then there's a couple of Chinese.
Uh-huh.
So all of them have all of our geese have Sebastopol in them, and only a couple are Chinese. So they're beautiful, and you can't have too many.
They are pretty. You can have too many.
I have friends that will take them.
Just as long as they're not Egyptian geese.
I'm not hatching any of those. If I see their eggs, I'm not going to hatch them. Robert over at Daybird Aviaries wants some Egyptian geese, but I just am afraid I can't hatch them for him. I'll give him the eggs. It would be torturous if Mary Carl said, I can't part with them.
Oh, gosh.
You would be very, very upset with me.
Oh, my gracious.
Y'all, he
can have the pair we got.
Well, he can't. He can't because you would have some explaining to do, but they're very loud. Our flock of geese are loud, but those Egyptians, they top the cake. They're annoying.
So loud. Y'all have no idea how much footage of video that I have lost or gotten rid of or can't even, it's because they're so this the female Egyptian goose.
Yeah.
She's so loud, and it's the same thing she does, and it's almost 12 hours a day.
Well, she and her lovely husband have made the move down to the pond, and it's been much more pleasant since they did that.
It has been much more pleasant, but I can still hear them up here.
Well, they do make, they make a couple of trips back and forth, but for the most part, they're staying at the pond, and I am thankful for it.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was thinking when we got those, because they're beautiful, but oh my gosh, man. It's like guineas times 10.
It is. That one
is like guineas times 10. And I like to hear the sound of a guinea, unless it's on your rooftop.
Yeah.
And you got dogs barking at
it. The guineas don't bother me that much unless I'm recording. You know, and we've tried guineas twice, and we didn't care for them. We just did not jive with us.
We may try them again when the barn's built, though. Yeah. I think being over there would be a whole different ball game unless you're trying to record.
Yeah, unless you're trying to record.
Then we got to put them on silent mode.
But the Egyptian goose.
Oh, y'all, she's over the top. I mean,
over the top.
And I felt your pain because the last video that I did, I recorded in the you probably remember it.
I did remember it, and I had to get rid of some of the footage.
Well, everybody tells me in my videos when I apologize, I'm sorry for that loud goose. They say, oh, don't worry about it. We love the sound of the farm sound. Well, it's not that we're worried about that. You can't hear us talking.
Yeah.
Because that goose overpowers your voice.
It is. It is.
If Holly could talk, she'd be the same way.
Thank goodness we only have one.
One what, Holly?
Yes. No. One Holly. One Holly and one Egyptian goose, or
Two-
female Egyptian goose.
Yeah, one female.
The male's not that loud.
You know what's going to happen? Since they're at the pond, they're probably going to find a convenient place to
Oh,
make a nest.
Gosh, I hope not.
And the person that we got these from has a bundle of them,
Yeah.
and he has had no problem in them repopulating. So I'm
Really?
just amazed that maybe they haven't been of age to reproduce. But I'm
Maybe
amazed that we haven't seen any of the beautiful little creatures coming out of the woodwork with a mouthful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to happen. One day it's going to happen.
Gosh, it's so loud. We had a special visitor.
We did.
Was it night before last?
Yes. I think it was night before last.
Uh-huh.
It was whatever day that I went to the Wheeler. It was Tuesday night. Tuesday night.
Tuesday night.
You were texting with your good buddy Brant, who
Mhm.
did the build on our house, and
I was showing him the stair rail.
Yeah.
I was actually showing him the stair rail.
I think Jason must have been asking for his approval before he made the video.
And so then he sent me a text and wanted the code.
Wanted the gate code.
And I thought, well, heck, he's fixing to come and get, going to look at stuff. And he was visiting. Like 3 minutes later, he was pulling up in the driveway.
He pulled up in the
Yeah.
driveway, and we were so happy to see him. We found out that it's not going to be too much longer on the barn
Right.
before the barn gets started. And Brant's such a good guy.
He is a good guy.
I can remember thinking back when we hired him to do the build of the house, and he's young, and he's not as young as he looks. He looks very
He
young.
looks really young.
He looks like a teenager, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
good thing. But I remember when we hired him, we felt like we had hired the right person for the job,
Hmm.
and we in turn felt like we would go away from our house build as being friends.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
It is what happened.
I mean, he's
Yeah.
just such a good guy, and such a great builder.
He is.
And he doesn't build houses; he builds pole barns.
That's right.
And he just did a little extra for us because I think he felt sorry for us for living in the camper. And
Well, we got lucky for one.
yeah, it was an odd time of the year.
It was an odd time of the year, and it was, winter time, so it was a little slow. And
Now he wouldn't do it.
no, now he wouldn't do it. Plus, two, at the time, our house was nothing but a pole barn,
That's right.
and then we kind of sweet talked him into framing the inside.
Yeah, yeah. And he said, it's just at first he was kind of iffy about it
Yeah.
because he didn't want to mess anything up.
Right.
Well, we had the utmost confidence in him. And it's kind of like Jason not giving himself confidence in projects that he takes on. Brant's an experienced builder.
Right.
Yes, he knows that, but he still questioned himself on taking on a framing job. And I'm so glad he did. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
me
want
too.
anybody else. Except for Roberto and Heidel.
Roberto and Heidel, who can do framing too.
Yeah, they can. But we didn't know that at the time.
We didn't know it at the time.
And we didn't have those guys
Yep.
working for us at the time. So it all worked out. But Brant's going to be back again pretty soon.
Yes.
I wonder how long it'll take him to get the barn built.
I don't think it's going to take as long as you think.
He did tell us that the trusses are in.
Yes, the trusses are here. He's got 2 barns in front of ours.
Yes.
It would only have been 1 barn in front of ours, but because of the tornado, he's got 2 barns because he's got to rebuild one that got hit by the tornado. And so he's got 2 barns in front of ours, and then ours will be next.
Yep.
And so, yeah.
And he apologized time and time again.
Oh,
But
yeah.
y'all, we're not in any hurry. Every animal on our farm has a shelter.
Hmm.
Everybody here has a shelter. It's not like we're waiting to move animals because they don't have anywhere to live. Yes, it would be awesome if
Yeah.
it came tomorrow.
Right.
But he's not holding us up in any way. So, do what you got to do and take care of your customers first.
That's right. And he does a good job of that.
Oh, he does a great
Really good job of that. So that is exciting. That Brant
Will be back.
Brant will be back, and y'all have some building videos coming up in the near future, hopefully sooner than later. And who's to say that when we start doing stalls, building the stalls in there, we might have to call on Roberto and Heidel to help us out.
We might have to. You ought to be feeling pretty comfortable now, though.
After the
this-
stair rail?
Yeah.
I'm
Hey,
feeling
we
pretty
can build our
comfortable.
stalls by using that metal.
The goats would
No,
They-
they can't be in that.
push on it like this.
And they make different thicknesses, Jason.
It'd have to be thicker. It'd have to be thicker.
That may be a good idea, really.
I don't know what I'm going to do in the stalls yet. I don't know. And do we want full stalls? Or do
No,
we
it just
want
needs to be half for,
half stalls?
I think, half stalls for goats.
Yeah.
Well, I had something. We need to talk about this off camera.
The barn?
The stalls.
Yeah.
We're sitting here conversating like y'all aren't here. And,
we act like they sitting in front of us. And
well, what do y'all think? How
Yeah.
tall should the stalls be?
I'm thinking half stalls. I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
I don't think we need anything full. You know, as I was thinking about this barn,
Yeah.
we're going to have 12-foot leans on both sides, and that
Mhm.
just means just sides coming off like this that
Right.
are 12 foot. I think that we may have enough room on that right side that's not the goat side
Yeah.
to park the tractor.
We might.
Park both tractors even.
Park boat tractors. And I try to tell you too, and I don't think you can picture it yet, but the inside of the barn is going to be pretty big.
It is, but I don't think we need to store a bunch of round bales of hay in
No,
it.
not that, but the tractors could park in there.
Oh, well, I don't want to park it. I want to park it under the lean-to. That's where the tractor, mine anyway. You park yours on the inside. You can have the inside. I'll have the outside.
And I do have parts for my tractor. I got a tune-up kit,
Hmm.
which is plugs and new points, and there's something else in there. I didn't get new wires yet. I don't think there was new wires in there. And then I got the basic carburetor kit, because I'm gonna take the carburetor off because it's gonna be gummed up, because
Yeah.
you can smell the old gas.
Hmm.
And so I got to take it apart and clean it out and put it back together. And I needed new gaskets and seals to put all that back together. I got it. I got an oil filter. So I figured out what oil I need to put in it, and I figured out what hydraulic transmission fluid I need to put in there, because I'm going to drain that out too. And I need to drain and clean the gas tank out. And I'm hoping that baby's going to crank up and go.
I bet you're going to be surprised.
I'm hoping it's going
For
to
the
crank up
good.
and go.
I think
I'm
it's going to crank up. I don't
Me
think it's
too.
going to be any problem. I really do. I think you're overkilling by the things that you're doing, but I commend you for wanting it to be better than what it needs to be in order
Right.
to crank.
Right.
Because if you don't do it now, you're not going to do it later.
Right.
You know,
well,
once it gets going, you're not going to
yeah,
stop.
I'm not going to want to stop and take the hood off.
No.
And
No.
all that. So why-
Once
yeah,
you
I'm gonna
get
do it.
started,
Yeah.
you need to fix it before
Yeah.
it starts running,
Oh, absolutely.
instead of making it crank and then
Mhm.
saying, "I'm going to come back next time and change the hydraulic fluid
Right.
out."
The only thing that I'm going to do, because I got a lot of feedback from you guys on it, is that it's 6 volts. Because the old tractors, 1948, a lot of those old tractors were 6 volts. 12 volts wasn't around, I'm guessing back then. So it's 6 volts. Had a lot of you people that are tractor people that know about Ford 8Ns, these old classic and antique tractors, told me that I should think about switching it over to 12 volts. And they make a kit for that. And it doesn't look that complicated.
Well, you ought to
at
go ahead and
all.
order it then. That way you can do that at
I'm
the same
thinking about
time.
it. I'm thinking about it. You're probably right. I probably should
Have
do that.
everything here so you won't have to say, "Well, I got
Yeah.
to wait on that to come in before I can do this."
Yeah, you're probably right.
And the truck, you got parts for it.
Got parts for it. There was a oil pan of all things, y'all. An oil pan. You would think an oil pan, because that's all I've done my whole entire life up until recently, since I graduated school, is that I've been in the automotive part business, and it just blows my mind that an oil pan, a basic oil pan, was been on back order, y'all.
Well, there must
And-
be a lot of need for them.
It, I guess it's still lack of production because of COVID. I don't know. I don't know why there is, but so that's Donnie's been working on the truck. We got parts ordered for the truck, the 69 Ford farm truck. He's been working on it. And so the oil pan's been on back order. I found it on eBay, or he found it on eBay. I said, I did. I didn't do it. He found it on eBay because I said, look, I said, do you think we can maybe get an oil pan from somewhere else? And I'll cancel the oil pan I got ordered. And he
Did you
said,
cancel
sure.
it? Did you cancel the old one?
No, I just thought about it.
Okay.
But I need to cancel it. Cancel oil pan.
Okay.
Because it came in today.
The eBay one came in.
Yeah.
Not the one you ordered that's on back
Right.
order.
So yeah, he so I found the oil pan, I got it, and then I was so excited to get the oil pan that I didn't have it drop shipped to his house. I had it shipped here, which was not bright.
Somebody said something about Wiedemann Reap's barn. Well, guess what? We went and looked at some of their videos, and you reached out to her.
No, that was Roots and Refuge.
Roots
Jess.
and Refuge. Okay.
Yep.
I get those two confused.
Yes.
I don't communicate with them because you've been in this longer than I have. And I get the two confused, and I can understand why you don't have that problem because you're the actual communicator.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And I know Danelle too.
Never
so
mind.
I can
Do they have a barn?
They got a small goat barn, and she has stalls.
I
and
think
they
that's
look
what they're
like,
thinking about.
They look like our friend Julie's. But I don't know if they're full or not. I have to go back and look at her videos, and I can ask her where she got them from. I think so.
Well, Julie's are horse stalls, so
Julie's are horse stalls, but they look the same design. They got that metal that comes down, and the color and all is the same. So I bet it comes from the same manufacturer.
I was thinking that we would build something.
I thought that too, but I like the rolling aspect of it.
Well, I do too, but they make. Brant said he's good at putting barn doors on now.
Yeah, he is. But is that really a barn door though? It's kind of like a track system, isn't it?
I've been looking on Marketplace.
Oh, I know what it is. It goes up and over. That's why it's a full stall.
Yeah.
So the door. That's why it's a full stall.
I don't think we need a full stall though, because I don't plan on having full size horses.
No, but we couldn't do a barn door if it's not a full stall. It won't be a rolling door.
Oh, it'll just be
unless you want to duck under the rail.
Here we are talking about what we plan to do. This needs to be dinner talk, not live talk.
Yeah.
So remind us what we got to talk about at dinner.
That's right. But no, I did reach out to Jess at Roots and Refuge, and she told me all about her barn. And
that was a while back.
That was a while back, and that was a good help, and that gave us an idea of what size barn we wanted to go with.
And she told us she was completely, well, here I am calling it us. She told you she was completely satisfied with the size of theirs, and that led us to believe that we would be satisfied as well.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
No, I was reading. Somebody said that Danelle's husband Kevin built theirs.
Oh, okay.
So, but they look just like Julie's.
Huh?
They do. So, but if he can weld though, Kevin can weld.
I'm gonna get there one day, Kevin. I'm gonna get there one day. Mary Carl's friend Piper.
Yeah.
Her brother Tristan, who is 15 years old, can weld.
Oh, that's right. He can weld.
My plan is that one day, maybe this summer, when Tristan's out of school, he's homeschooled, but that Tristan can teach Brooke how to weld. I don't necessarily. I want to be self-taught. I want to learn how to do it myself, but I don't know where to start.
Yeah, that's something that
I don't know anything about the gas,
Yep.
the torches. That's what I need to know. And if he could get me over that hump, then I can teach myself. I feel like I can go, but I need a starting point. So Tristan, I hope will help me out.
Plus, too, we don't know anything about welders. We don't know all that kind of good stuff.
He's got one. He's got one that was a hand-me-down to him by the gentleman that they bought their property from, and I feel like that. He'll tell me what I need.
I think so too. I saw somebody say, "How come we don't? Why won't we have any horses when we get the barn built?" We used to be horse people.
We did, and I'm telling y'all, accidents can happen anywhere.
Right.
But I'm scared of horses now.
Yeah, I think we discussed this before, but there was a couple of little incidents that happened. Mary Carl was little too, and I've never been scared of horses. Never rearing up on me and that kind of thing.
Even when we had them, I wasn't scared of them, but I'm scared of them now.
But I was younger But then as I got older, I'm like, gosh, if I fall off this thing bucks me off and I'm paralyzed.
Yeah.
Who's going to provide for the family? And that just scared me. And listen, I know there's some horse people out there that love horses, and I totally get it because I rode a lot and I loved them, but just when something you see something happens like that, and it scared me, and I can't get it out.
Well,
once you're scared, you can't get it out.
Well, I feel like the animal senses fear too.
Yeah,
and if we were
right.
to have a horse now, that horse would sense that we were scared of it, and I just don't know that I could ever get over that.
Right.
And it's not just one incident that happened that made me scared of them. I realize all animals are animals.
Right.
I know that. I'm not going to ride Moody, so there's no chance that Moody can hurt me.
Right.
And I have my guard on when I'm in there with him, but something could still happen.
Right.
But riding one's a different thing. You just don't. I'm not trying to discourage anybody from riding that does ride, because that's not what I'm here to do. But
like I said, it's one of those things. Once you get scared and nervous, to me,
that fear doesn't go away.
It's hard to get it out of your mind.
Yes.
And I'm like you; those animals can sense it, and it's not fair for a horse, to sense that.
And a horse could live here without us riding.
It could. It absolutely could.
For sure.
Absolutely.
But,
absolutely. And never say never,
Never say never, because I've been looking at some minis that I thought to myself, boy, I would love to have another mini, because Tucker was married. Tucker. We had a horse named Tucker first, and we have a black cat named Tucker now.
Right.
But Tucker, if I could get him back, Jason, I think I would.
Yeah.
I think I would.
Would you?
I really do. I don't know why. I can't ride him. Obviously, I'm too big, but he was a little mini that just had my heart. And at the time, it was the best thing to do, was to let him go to another home where he could be, a little child's delight. But you're right. Never say never.
Never say never. I mean, who knows, an opportunity may come when there's a older horse that doesn't need to be ridden that much anymore, and somebody doesn't want him anymore.
I tell you, we had an opportunity not too long ago that we
did.
We had an opportunity to get a wonderful horse that we previously owned back.
We did.
And for free.
And she could fly.
Ooh. And she was a good ride too.
Boy, I loved getting on her and turning her loose, and me and her, she could smoke. I'm telling y'all, she was an Arabian, and she could fly.
Well, actually, I'm talking about Zelda.
Oh, I was talking about Sprinkles.
Okay, well, we had an opportunity to get both back.
Now, Zelda was a great riding horse because she was a Tennessee walking horse. So
for
trail rides, she was a fine horse,
and she was big.
She was a big girl.
But she went to live with Piper.
She did.
And Katie and Tristan and Ross over in where we used to live, over in Selma.
Now, Sprinkles, we were offered to get back.
Yes,
and
we were.
Sprinkles is a Arabian.
Yeah.
And she was fun to ride. Now, my tush would be sore on a trail ride after all the bouncing, wasn't like a Tennessee walking horse that was, they had the gait, but I loved her to death. But man, I love turning her loose. Oh my gracious, she liked to be turned loose too. She liked to go, but loved her too.
Was beautiful.
She was beautiful.
She was beautiful.
She was beautiful.
So we're not building stalls for horses. We're building stalls for goats.
So maybe we ought to make one big stall just in case.
No.
What if we get a donkey?
It's gonna be a mini. It's going to be a mini donkey. It's going to be a mini donkey.
Me. Oh, goodness.
Right?
That's right.
But I am going to hopefully, Capri, our Nubian female, one of them, is bred by Joe. And hopefully when she kids, goodness, I knew the first date was March. But
I can't remember now.
I can't remember because we put her back in with Joe. But I do plan on milking her.
Right.
And I do plan on, I've been watching on how to draw blood. to do a pregnancy test through blood work and
Mhm.
also do some milk testing. So I plan on learning how to do that myself too.
Well, good.
I can do it.
You can do it.
I can do
I
it.
mean, it's going to be nice when we got a barn to do
Oh
all
my
that in.
gracious. Well, no, I need to do that
I
before
know.
we get
I
the barn
know.
built.
I know. But
Pregnancy testing is not so essential
Right,
to me because if she missed the breeding window, well, we just missed it.
right.
You know, there's nothing we can do about the Nubians. And I just don't know if I can milk a Nigerian. Their teats are so small
Mhm.
that I feel like you'd be doing like this with your fingers. And the times that I've milked in the past, you know, it gives your hands a workout, but it would be different muscles that would be used with a smaller goat, I believe.
It would be. It would be.
When we have a farm full of homegrown vegetables,
Yeah.
and a farm full of homemade milk, homemade
It's
butter,
homemade, all right.
butter,
Yeah.
butter,
Butter.
right? Ice
Yeah.
cream, everything we can do with milk, we plan to do.
Right.
And we've kind of been in the middle of a move to
Mhm.
where we weren't so homesteady.
Mhm.
I think this is going to be the true definition of a homestead.
It'll be the closest we've come, you know.
It'll be the closest,
You know,
and that's been our goal the entire
absolutely.
time.
Absolutely.
I'm excited. I'm excited to get back in the saddle, so to speak,
Right.
and feel like that we're vegetables. Oh my gracious. Just imagine the abundance of vegetables we can grow here.
That's right. And I was going to tell you guys, because I had mentioned that
We're going to do a live.
I was going to do a live about the vegetables, and then the project kind of messed me up. But that prolonged it, and this live got carried over today. And so what I ended up doing is that's going to be tomorrow's video. It's going to be about what we're doing in the garden and our seeds and all that, our seed starting. So if that's something that you were waiting on as a live, it's going to actually be the video tomorrow, because it was raining all day today. It's still raining now.
That's right.
We get stuck inside, and it's hard for us to make a video. Lester's on here. I just saw him. Hey, buddy. It's hard to make a video when you're stuck inside.
That's right.
Know? So that worked out great. That worked out perfect.
It did, and I'm excited about it. I hope y'all are excited about growing season as well. And if you can't grow anything yourself, well, come along with us, because you can watch us grow it.
Absolutely. And it's going to be vegetable seeds. I'm going to do flower seeds
at a separate time.
Maybe in a week or two, I'll do flower seeds. But I want to go ahead and get my vegetables going.
Well, they needed to. They needed to get going, get started, so we can get some growth and get some stuff going in the ground soon as the freeze is over.
Right.
When do you anticipate getting this stuff planted that we started today?
I would say
April the what?
What is that big white bird? Is that a goose?
That's a big white goose.
Okay. It's just weird because of the heel. I thought it was a crane, and I got my glasses on. I was like, what's a crane doing out there?
No crane, just a goose.
6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Probably 6 weeks, and I'll have to watch it. And if the weather looks like it's not going to be, good,
so that'll put us towards the end of April, right?
End of April, 1st of March, somewhere in there. Yep.
1st of March.
April, May, 1st of May. Sorry. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Do you want to take some questions, or you think we answered everything? I saw somebody ask, do we eat goose eggs?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do?
No, answer the questions. Yeah, I saw the question too as well.
I saw, do we eat goose eggs? And actually, there's a video that goes back a few years where we did a taste test.
We did.
And ate goose, turkey, duck, chicken. We didn't eat a peacock egg, did we?
No, it was, I think that was it. Goose, duck, chicken,
and turkey.
It was 4. And me and Mary Carl did a blindfold
taste
test. And I can vividly remember it now. I can still remember it. And, you have in your mind, because we've tasted them all and knew what they were, but we didn't know what these were.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like duck eggs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like them, and I just don't like the flavor of them. And I don't know what to tell you it tastes like. A lot of people say gamey,
Yeah,
but
that's-
I don't know even know what that means. I don't know what gamey means, to be honest with you. I say it tastes gamey. Well, what's that mean?
Uh-huh.
I don't know, but I don't like the flavor of a duck
Duck
egg.
egg.
And blindfolded, me and Mary Carl picked it right off the bat. We knew the chicken egg.
Yes.
We knew the duck egg.
Uh-huh.
And by process of elimination, we knew what the goose egg was. So we knew then that was the turkey egg. But if I'm not mistaken, I think the chicken egg was first, the turkey egg was second, the goose egg was third, and the duck egg was last in our flavor palette, I think.
Now, Mary Carl loves quail eggs.
She does.
Quail eggs have a different taste all in themselves. Of course, they're so tiny; it takes a lot of them to make up a meal, even for a little one. But quail eggs are tasty. Now, Mary Carl did this not too long ago, and that was she had me cook her a pigeon egg,
Mm-hmm.
and she ate it, and she didn't care for it.
She didn't care for it.
She didn't care for it, but she
didn't
wanted
say
to-
it tastes like a duck egg. did
No, she just wanted to try it,
I got
and
you.
she did that, and so she said she didn't like it, and she's ate a pigeon egg.
Ah, the what we think's a spring house.
Uh-huh.
We haven't been down there lately because
We have not. We got too much going on.
I had too much going on, and I keep wanting to order a metal detector,
Mhm.
which means I'm gonna go down this stupid rabbit hole.
Yeah.
This is what I do, y'all, and I know I'm not the only one, but I do this thing like, all right, metal detector. I don't know anything about metal detectors, so I'm gonna go down this rabbit hole, and I'm gonna spend 8 weeks researching metal detectors, reading about them, reading reviews, and what I should do is just order a metal detector, but I can't do it. It's just not me, and I fall in that trap every time.
While you're doing that, I'll be down with a shovel digging and tell you what I come up with. Okay?
But surely I'm not the only one that does that.
I do the
telling you.
same thing. And
Yeah, but you're not as bad as I am, though.
I
mean,
have a problem making a decision.
I don't have a problem making the decision part's not it. It's just that I just go overboard about the details and what this one can do versus this one,
Well, okay.
And I do it when I do camera gear. I do it when I do
I think
audio
it's just human
gear.
nature. If we made a quick decision, we would be making a.
Yeah, but I think I just do it maybe two. I'll watch 500 videos on metal detectors.
Okay. I don't watch any videos on them.
I will.
So let me order
I
one.
will.
Okay. Can I order one?
You want to order one? You can.
Okay. Well, we don't have to have a metal detector. As soon as we have time, we'll be back down there digging.
I know. But anyways, I wanted a metal detector though.
Yes,
and
yes.
that was one thing that I would like to take down there would be a metal detector. But we haven't been down there in a while.
We got too many irons in the fire.
We did. We were fixing to get started on the potager garden behind us.
Yes.
I want to try to get that finished if I can before
we go on to anything else.
Yeah, before spring and all that hits, so we can plant stuff back there. I just would love to do that. So that's coming up for sure, hopefully. So, and then the barn bill is going to be coming up soon. What else? I got fences for around the barn. We have all new pastures. Oh my gracious!
That's going to be a lot of work.
Getting the tractor going, the old farm truck going.
Oh,
so
the produce stand.
The produce stand.
The chicken house we got silkies that are going to be hatching soon.
Yeah, that's true.
We got a silky house.
We got the silky house that's got to go.
Area built.
Yep.
Oh my goodness! I just told Tanya, our beekeeper, last night when I was talking to her, they're making a move from area. I guess it's about an hour from them.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, I said, you can't look at the big picture. You have to take it day by day. And here I am looking at the big picture right now as we speak.
You have to do it one little thing at a time.
And she said that she tries to do that herself.
It is rain. It's raining good. It's been raining all day.
It has.
Yeah.
That means the pond's getting full.
Yep.
The ducks are out there as we speak.
They are enjoying it with the Egyptian geese.
I saw a lot of people that thought that I would be very happy that I don't have to fill up the swimming pools anymore. But that is not the case because those are only ducks. We still have all the geese.
Yeah.
And we're debating on they never get in a shelter. Any duck, goose, any kind of waterfowl we have ever owned has never used a shelter. None whatsoever. It's not that I'm concerned about the shelter. It's that I'm concerned. The Muscovies not so much because they can fly.
Yeah.
And they have these big claws that would rip something apart if need be.
Right.
The geese, I feel like, are much more vulnerable in their defense. If they're in the pond, that's fine.
Right.
But if they're on land and they're sleeping, then a predator, could be an issue. So we may not move them until we come up with a way to, kind of seclude that area off with fencing
Right.
or something. Not to say we won't let them go down there for the day. I think they'll find their way back more so than the Muscovies will.
Right.
But I'm still filling up swimming pools
Still filling up swimming pools,
and gathering eggs and putting them in the incubator.
which I didn't know until this podcast.
And I laughed because I told Tanya just last
man.
night. I said, Jason, he's gonna have a stroke when he sees how many
Eggs is in there.
eggs are in this incubator.
Well, I was putting water in there, and then you're like, don't worry about it. I got it. I've been using this
Yeah, I take
thing.
care
So
of.
I quit doing the water. So I don't know.
Well, you wouldn't see them anyway.
Yeah.
Because that tray has got a big metal thing across the front.
Yeah.
You would never know it. And I
Okay.
knew that when I started.
And you turn the turner back on.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
if you turn it off, you have to turn
I
it
turned
back
it back on.
on. Okay.
Every time I add one, I turn it off and turn it back on.
Okay.
That's been quite a few.
Because you'll certainly forget that.
I
sometimes.
don't
Yeah.
forget.
Swans. You gonna add swans? I don't think so.
I love swans.
But they mean as a snake.
Well, some of our geese are pretty mean.
But the swan, you see a swan, and I'm thinking like goose, swan. But if you really see a for real swan up close, and we went somewhere not too long
Birmingham
ago.
Zoo, and that thing was no,
That
it
was
was
a
when
park.
we went to go to the Airstream place to get the
It
axles.
was a beautiful park we went to. They had geese and ducks just swimming all in it, and they had was it 2 swans or 1? Anyways.
It was 2. It was a pair. Remember?
Y'all, those things are massive. I did not know how big a swan was
Yeah.
until I saw that one pretty darn close. And you read about how mean they are,
I don't want
And
any
how
of our.
big they are.
I don't want any of
Ooh.
our waterfowl that we've had for years to feel intimidated by something that
Yeah.
we brought in for a beauty,
I agree.
for a visual statement.
Or we want to go down there, we talk about putting fish in the pond. If we want to go down there with a cane pole and catch some brim, I don't want this thing coming up there running it and scaring everybody off,
Yeah, they're beautiful. And I mean, never say never, right? But
Never say never.
I just don't think that'll be first on our list.
Flex Bender says swans can break bones.
I believe it.
I believe them things are big now. I'm not gonna lie.
They are big. They are big.
They
I
are
came
big.
kind of close to when
Whew.
last trip to the Birmingham Zoo, and literally, it's like it's enormous when they get right in front of you. How big they are.
It is, and they may be like geese. Our geese are not that bad until it's breeding season, and maybe swans are like that. Maybe swans are completely cool, and then when breeding season starts, they turn into Cujo. I don't know.
Well, I don't anticipate it's going to be anything that we're saving up for my barn right now. How's that?
That's right.
And stalls and
Yeah.
maybe a milking room.
Definitely gonna do a milking room.
Yeah,
Definitely gonna have a milking room in there. Got to. That's the whole. To me, that's the whole reason.
that's
We're doing the barn.
That's the initial
Yep.
reason that we were building the barn.
Yep.
It's because we have space and we want milk.
Yep.
And butter and cheese and
All that good stuff.
wow,
Yes.
we got a lot ahead of us.
We do. We do. I saw somebody ask about when's the next time we're going to deworm the goats and everybody. You got it written down?
Well, no, Dr. D, who was our veterinarian,
Yeah.
has went out of the country for the year of 2023. Now, he told me to do not go off a schedule. He said there is no need for us to say 6 months from now, I got to deworm our goats. He wants me that if I suspect worms,
Do a worm
to
test,
do a
fecal.
fecal.
Yeah.
And that's another thing I want
Right.
to do is I want a microscope where I can do my own fecals.
Right.
That's one of those rabbit holes now.
I know it.
I started doing research and I thought I had pinpointed the correct microscope because we have a couple of microscopes.
We do.
However, they're not the correct ones that we need for fecals.
Got you.
I want to be able to do that myself. I don't want to have to take a fecal to a veterinarian to see if there's parasites because I think I can do that. And I know my child can do it if I can.
Right. I know she can.
I know she can too.
I know she can.
So I just feel like that's something we need to work on being more self-sufficient of. Now, if we suspect worms, we will take it to the vet before I get the microscope. But right now, everything's good. Everybody looks good.
Yep.
You can kind of go off that FAMACHA score, which is looking at their eyelid, but it's not 100% accurate.
Correct.
So what he said is if you suspect, if somebody's not doing well, and we had Fifi tested because we felt like, something may be a little wrong with her.
Yes.
And that's when we determined that there were indeed parasites.
And our FAMACHA score was
okay.
Okay. So,
okay.
Yep.
So I'm glad we feathered that, but all animals have parasites. And when their load gets out of control is when you have problems.
That's right.
If you think you own a chicken that doesn't have parasites, you're sadly mistaken. Or a goat, because they all have parasites. You're not going to get rid of every single one of them. It's natural to have parasites. But the load has to be kept under control.
Right.
To a maintainable level.
To a maintainable level.
To where it doesn't affect their immune system. And anemia can set in. All right, what else you got? I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, me too.
We're going to have leftovers.
Tell them what we're having.
Well, I cooked a roast in the crock pot yesterday, not last night, with some celery and onions and potatoes and carrots and some rice, and we're going to have leftovers. And so I have one of those already ready dinners.
Already. And I'm ready to eat.
I am too. So,
well, guys, thank y'all for hanging out with us today. And I'm sorry that they got pushed back, but
we'll be on for Tuesday, we hope.
We should be on for Tuesday.
Unless something happens.
Yeah, unless something happens. You're right.
But we always try to let you guys know in advance.
Yeah. So y'all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And as always, y'all be good.